A pleasant evening to you all. The Minister for Finance, Economic Planning, Trade and Investment has explained the termination of employment of the Chief Executive Officer of the Seychelles Trading Company, Ashik Hassan. Minister Pierre Laporte stated that STC is currently facing a serious financial crisis, which he says needs a change in leadership. As a result, the company's CEO has been relieved of his duties. Other members of the management and board members are expected to follow, and the chair of the board, Tiaz Umaji, attributes the financial difficulties to recent purchases and acquisitions, such as the new cold storage facility, which was acquired without loans, and the fact that the company has been without a chief financial controller for more than a year. The Department of Transport has installed a new permanent barrier in the car park at the Nation newspaper as part of efforts to ease the traffic congestion in the town area. The barrier is located in the car park near the newspaper premises that leads towards the parking area opposite Independence House next to Marine Charter. According to the Department of Transport, the measure follows numerous complaints received about persistent traffic congestion in this section of the town. Motorists had been using the stretcher of car park as a shortcut to reach the amusement center more quickly. However, this practice was contributing to significant congestion, as mentioned before, and to prevent this problem from escalating, the department has installed this new barrier. 12 individuals living with disabilities received complimentary foot massage and nail treatments during a special session organized at a spa. This activity forms part of a series of events organized by the Department of Family to mark the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, which is being observed today. The initiative is aligned with the department's ongoing efforts to promote dignity, inclusion, and the overall well-being of people living with disabilities. Another activity to commemorate the day was an exhibition at the Kamen Hall showcasing the creativity and skills of students from the Vocational Training Center through their handicraft work. On display were a variety of decorative and household items made from coconuts, as well as sewing pieces, bags, and an assortment of traditional foods, many of which were available for purchase. And teachers from the Vocational Training Center are encouraging members of the public who are interested in the students' handicrafts to visit the center at Northeast Point. President Patrick Emini says that while progress has been made to support people with disabilities, more work is still needed to help them live a more independent and fulfilling life. The president made the statement in a message to mark the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. The president promised to continue listening to the needs of the persons with disabilities as well as their families and to support networks. He said the government's goal is not only to provide assistance but also to create an environment where people with disabilities can participate fully as equal citizens with dignity and independence. And he pointed out that the government is working to improve public transportation, increase access to financing, strengthen healthcare services, and create better livelihood opportunities. The Office of the President has announced the appointment of new members of the Islands Development Company IDC. The five new members of the board include Sharon Francis, Michael Naletambi, Patrick Laplage, Rodney Catre, and Francis Lebon. The appointment is effective from the 1st of December to the 31st of October 2027. The new members join four other persons who are already members of the board, and they include the chairperson Didier Douclet, vice chairperson Astrid Tamatav, Antoine-Marie Moustache, and Cyril Bonlam, who is the Chief Executive Officer of IDC, as an ex-officio. A consultative workshop is currently taking place at the Berjaya Beauvallon Bay, aimed at increasing the participation of women in Seychelles in decision-making processes related to peace and security. The three-day workshop, which opened yesterday, is being organized by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. During the workshop, participants will work towards developing the country's first national action plan on women, peace, and security. The initiative has been launched by the government, which sees it as an important opportunity to address key challenges facing Seychelles and to bring together various institutions to identify effective and sustainable solutions.
The peace and security threats in Seychelles would be much more much more non-traditional. When you look at gender-based violence, very high levels of gender-based violence, huge increases in domestic violence, trafficking being a critical issue, as well as drugs and climate change and environmental degradation. So the Women, Peace and Security agenda is a really great opportunity to look at these issues and see how we can find solutions that involve women and to advance the leadership of women in decision making in peace and security in Seychelles.
The Tourism Department has hosted its validation workshop for the Aya Coast project, a workshop which took place at the Laila Hotel at Anse Royal. The Aya Coast project has now entered its second phase following the initial meeting held in July this year. Its objective is to protect coastal ecosystems, strengthen policies that support sustainability within the tourism sector, and promote collaborative approaches to sustainable tourism, particularly those aimed at reducing waste. And the initiative is funded by the UNEP, which is expected to grant full approval by the middle of next year, provided that all documentation is in order. And in his address, Tony Amadua, the Principal Secretary for Energy and Climate Affairs, said the project aims to support policy reforms and institutional strengthening to ensure sustainability is effectively mainstreamed across the sector.
For Seychelles, this project could not be more timely. Tourism remains our economic backbone, supporting livelihood across all our island. However, the pressures on our ecosystem, the risks posed by climate change, and the consumption pattern linked to tourism require bold and coordinated action. If we want to secure our natural asset for future generations, we must act now. The draft proposal before us today represents a comprehensive plan to reduce waste, promote circular economy principles in tourism sector, protect, restore, and enhance coastal ecosystem that support our tourism product, strengthen sustainable and local supply chain, expand access to green finance for SMEs.
And that's it for this news summary. I'll be back at 8 with the Creole Bulletin. Good evening.